Hello, I'm Michał. I'm heading the startups and export development team at Google Poland. We basically try to help the businesses go global and scale. So the topic of the panel is very accurate to the things we're doing. Without further ado, I want to invite our guests. So let me start first from the ladies. So Marta Krupińska, co-founder and general manager of Azimo. With your backpack.
It's a very nice backpack.
Bogusz, corporate business development from Zortrax. Radek Zaleski, head of growth from Netguru. Jędrychowski, CEO of Salesbook. And Bartek Jędrychowski, co-founder and managing partner of GameKit. Okay, so we have, first of all, very diverse businesses. So before we start the questions, I wanted to ask all the panelists to say, like in 3 to 5 words, what's your business about?
Great. Azimo, we make money transfers cheaper and easier for migrants living in Europe, sending money home wherever home is, over 190 countries.
Okay, Anna from Zortrax. We are producing 3D printers and selling them all over the world.
We are Netguru. We build great products for companies and entrepreneurs and visionaries across the globe.
We're Salesbook. We are a sales acceleration platform for enterprise that makes sales simpler, easier, and increases your sales. And I'm the CFO, not the CEO.
Sorry.
At GameKit, we provide a platform for gamers who play.
That wasn't the penalty for
exactly.
the change.
Sorry.
GameKit allows players to get free games and free stuff in games instead of paying for them. So if players don't want to pay, and more than half of them don't want to, we let them do tasks, do quests, and get the rewards in games for free.
Okay, so as you might see, we have a very diverse businesses, so I cannot ask too many specific questions because specific industry questions would be answered probably by each of speakers one at a time. And as the topic is going global, I want to start with two first things. So maybe Bartek, from your side, what was the one single thing that drove your business really to the point you are now? Yeah?
Okay, so definitely, like for all of us, like building startups, and so I think that the answer will be the same. So like building a good product. If you like, even if you have a software house, like having good developers, providing a good product to your customers is like always the most important thing. At GameKit, we found a niche that people really need. Like there are 2 billion players all around the world, and let's say 1 billion don't want to pay in games. And we offer like good service. We let them get the rewards in games. Maybe not all of you know that, but in most of free-to-play games, you can play for free, and then you have to pay for like special like stuff in games, like skins and this kind of things. So we tell them, don't do it if you don't want to, if you don't have money from your parents and so on. Go to GameKit, get it for free, and just do some tasks, spend some time, and get it for free. So this is something that people really needed. So when we launched the product 4 years ago in Poland, we were like profitable from the day one. There were like thousands of people registering. Right now, we are not like making any marketing actions in many countries like Brazil. We don't invest in marketing there, but there are thousands of people registering every day from Brazil. Because they want to get it for free. They just need our service. So having a good product is definitely the most important thing. But the ability to scale it globally, to grow, is like also probably the second important thing. It's like there are people who try to copy our model. There are websites growing in all of the countries that we see that they try to do what we do. And they are not as successful as we are because they don't know how to scale it. Even if they have good product, they have problems with scaling and other things.
Okay. Let me jump to the other side of the panel and stay in the B2C world. So Marta,
Cool.
despite of the product?
Yes, I'll try and not repeat the same thing. I'd say innovation, but in the right place. So I think there is a lot of opportunity to follow the hype, especially founders look, okay, well, let's do AI, let's do machine learning, let's do whatever. When you look at businesses like Uber or Airbnb, the reason why they're so incredibly successful is because they innovated in the value chain. Airbnb, the largest hotel company, don't own a single hotel. Uber, largest cab company, don't own a single car. Now what we built the largest global money transfer, digital-only money transfer business, and we don't own a single payout location. And for us, this true understanding of the value chain allowed us to reduce the average cost of remittances from the average of 10% that Western Union would charge you to less than 2% and still keep us profitable. I think if we just focused on how to make it sexy and shiny, we probably wouldn't have gotten to where we are today.
Okay. And what about the more B2B market? Anya?
I would say, first of all, a reliable product and a team of experienced professionals who are not afraid to go global. Because, yeah, like all the startups here, the people who presented their products, that's great that you are not afraid of going international because that's the large market, and you have to think globally, not only think about your local markets.
And how do you approach the B2B customer?
Well, you have to do a lot of research. You need to set up a target group, of course, and you need to contact the companies, get to know them, and get to know what they need in their businesses. I mean, we work with distributors, resellers, and I work with companies like Bosch, so industrial customers. And so we have few divisions, and their needs are divided in terms of businesses, resellers. So they already know the product at this time, and I will get back to thinking internationally, because being not afraid will grant you success. And the best example is from my side. After 3.5 years of working, we have business partners in over 80 countries on 6 continents. And last year, the total turnover of sales was almost 54 millions.
Okay. Radek, Andrew?
So for us at Netguru, it was trust, basically. This is something we lack often in Poland. It was trust that we are able to scale up globally. So it was trust in ourselves, then it was trust in our employees that they are going to deliver the products that we've promised, that they are talented enough, skilled enough to deliver the things that we wanted them to deliver, and trust in our partners across the globe. We work with partners remotely very often. They are in different places, in different time zones, but they are going to deliver their promises in terms of business we are doing. And I can tell that this is often a problem when we work in Poland. This trust is not given, makes everything more difficult, costly. A lot of bureaucracy is being involved, and we are really proud that we are really fast to work company. If you want to start with us, you can do it next day. And it requires a lot of trust. So I would really strengthen that for any other company trying to go globally, to trust their partners and trust their people to do it right.
Andrew?
I think it's actually slightly different. I think scaling globally, regardless of your distribution model, if it's online or it's more physical, direct customer relationship, which is more ours. I think if you identify an actual real problem that you can solve with your solution, whatever it is, then the international scaling becomes really a question of logistics. It's like an MBA exercise about how you operate in different markets, et cetera, but the core issue is identifying a real problem and creating a solution that you can deliver, which is scalability. Once you do that, then it becomes automatic. And we've seen it with Salesbook that as soon as we dialed in the product to solve the right problems for the right verticals or right industries, then it just starts to take off, and it's our job to organize the capital and the know-how and the other logistical bits and pieces to keep up with demand. And it's a completely different thing than if you don't have a very clear idea of what it is that you're solving for clients.
Okay. We have a representative of one tangible product, or 4 representatives of more intangible product. You all said about scaling the business. Tell me, in terms of going global, is the physical presence in your businesses on the markets you're going to an important factor, or are you able to, for example, drive the markets digitally?
I'm happy to pick this up. So we operate in 24 countries in Europe, and we send money to over 190 countries. We started from London, and we now have another office in Krakow. And actually have 2/3 of my people in Krakow. And I think that was also a key to success, because the Polish technology talent is known worldwide. But I always say it is not cheap labor; it's affordable talent. And it allowed us to hire the best of the best straight from the front. But what I wanted to say is, physical presence for us, physical presence was not necessary to be able to roll out our products to all the countries. And and of course, I'm sitting next to you. I have to say, working with Google, performance marketing.
That was not the aim of the question.
you can reach them. You can reach them from one single place. But by saying you don't need to have physical presence in those countries, I don't mean you don't have to localize your product. Something that we've learned very early on is that a Polish migrant living in the UK and a Polish migrant living in Norway are a little bit different. A Nigerian living in the UK and a Nigerian living in France are a little bit different. Their needs are a little bit different, and you have to understand what that need is. And that might require some sort of interaction with those group on the ground. That doesn't mean setting up an office, but that means appreciation for their needs and truly understanding the needs of each group individually. And the other thing I would say is, for us as a fintech business, we're dealing with people's money with very hard-earned money, and what we needed to generate is trust. And sometimes the ability to do that can only be properly achieved through, say, a partnership with a local bank in a given country, so that they see, okay, these guys work with this bank, they must be legit. Or maybe working with an influencer. Oh, okay, then if this person says this is good, then probably this is a real company. So localization in terms of understanding the need of the customer, and each customer is a little bit different, every segment is a little bit different, and elements of physical presence in the countries to gain the trust of the customer. I'd say these are the prerequisites. Opening offices in all countries for us was never an issue, and we never had to do that.
Okay, so we have fintech where the money is very important because it's your hardly earned money and you send it to your family or to your friends or somewhere else. What about gaming, in terms of users?
This is like pure example when the world is like one thing. Like for example, when we make a marketing campaign with one English-speaking YouTuber, his audience is like 10% US, 10% Poland, actually. Another 7% France, there's 7% Germany, and we have to be open in these countries. We have to, like, our platform has to be open to these countries, but we don't have to be physically in these countries. This is one world for gaming. And gamers don't care if we are in Poland or if we are in the US. So we reach these 12 million users, which most of them are outside of Poland. So US, Germany, France, UK, Italy, Spain, but also Brazil, also Kazakhstan, also Ukraine. In most of these countries we've never been before, and it is quite easy to scale there for us, for like gaming product. It's probably one of the easiest thing. But in order to grow our revenues, to offer players different ways of collecting points that we have, we need, like, we will need team of salespeople in these countries. So this is like this is our like plan to hire some people in other countries. It's not that we need the sales force in all of these countries, but having marketing campaigns to promote certain products. In US, in Germany, in France, we will need people who will bring us these deals. Mm-hmm. So we already done like very successful. We launched our very successful campaigns for brands like McDonald's, Reebok, M-Bank in Poland, because we are here and we brought this deal like very easily because we have connections in Poland. But we've never done a campaign for a US bank to our users. So in order to do that, we will probably need to be there. So
it's still the part of the B2B business, yeah? It's rather not the part
Yeah,
of
like-
the user and the business?
exactly, we can have the customers all around the world without the presence, but in order to monetize them better and better, we will need the local presence, at least a few people who will like bring the deals that we can make money on.
And can you say that, because you said that it's very easy to get the users, the end user, yeah, that's using the solution. But what about their behaviors? Is it the same in terms of Azimo, like the very different across different markets, or is it more or less the gamer is the same?
Of course, we can't say that gamers is the same. Like Turkish player is different than the US player, but like our platform is like quite easy, like for them to understand, and it's like. We don't see like problems that, let's say, one country has one group of people have a problem to understand it or problem to do our task and so on. They can like do it exactly like Turkish people can do it the same way as they do in the US. So it's not like that different. We have to, of course, like prepare our platform for them. So it's not that easy sometimes to launch a new country. But there are usually some technical problems that we just solve and we launch in this country and it just works. So it's not an issue.
Before I ask you the question that just popped up, wanted to ask about the B2B business.
So for us, you?
I don't know. Can be.
It's up to you,
So
whoever wants to pick.
So quickly, for us, it's not an issue to have a local presence in terms of an office or staff. It might change in the future. We don't know that, but we travel frequently to our key markets to meet our key clients, key partners, and that gets the job done right now. In trust-driven business that we are, we find it valuable to meet people. So I know I'm not going to give an advice that this is not important, not an issue. Be prepared to invest in travel, meeting people. It really pays off in the future. So right now, no offices, no staff, might change.
Okay.
Yeah,
Give the voice to Andrew.
I just wanted to, I mean, there's different models, very B2C, et cetera. Like with us, we sell using distributors, meaning local partners of our big partners like Microsoft, local integrators of Microsoft Dynamics, which is a CRM. We're a plug into the CRM system. Those are the people that we focus on. We don't need to, at this point at least, we don't need to have a local presence. We just have to have a strong relationship with the mothership, whether it could be Microsoft or somebody else who is putting us in touch with the local partners that will implement our system. Then we can deal with them pretty remotely. So for us, it's a reasonably low-cost way of us expanding. Down the road a bit, maybe we'd have an office somewhere, and as we are spending more and more time in London, it's part of why we're here, we might be here more directly. But it's not absolutely necessary for us in our particular model.
Yeah.
There is a term like global village, and we also don't have an office in the other countries. We thought about it, but it wasn't a necessity. I really like what you said. It's so what we do is a connection of what you said and what you said before. So we're building the trust through our business partners, and also maybe in the future we might need an office. Currently we don't, but of course in B2B it's 80% of online working, you know, mails, calls, etc. But also 20% of traveling, you have to meet your business partner.
Especially with the tangible product, yeah?
Yes. The example I may give is Bosch, whom I work with on conductive material last year. And we implemented our printers in France, first in Bosch. And of course, it took about a year to work with the company, to get to know each other, what they needed, and to discuss. And finally, I traveled to them once to sign a contract and to see the factory, to see, you know, to meet each other. And we followed from there.
So might we use the statement that in terms of partnership, regardless of the business, it's still needed
Oh, yeah.
the physical side, and in terms of scaling, it's often the digital that helps.
Definitely.
Sure.
Didn't want to cut the panel by this sentence, but okay. I want to read the question. I just need to move a little bit because this one is too small. My eyes don't make it. When it comes to growth, what are your thoughts on cold emailing growth services like Growbots or Write Hello? Do you find it effective and UX correct?
Cold emailing.
I can
Like
go
just
first.
sending,
My answer
hello, it's this and this, that company.
Do we have the
No, I'm sorry, I was
asked the
interrupting.
question?
I didn't realize we were getting.
You will be next.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it'd be quick. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so I guess if we were discussing about cold emails, just hello, this and that company, in B2B, it doesn't work, and I guess that's today. I heard only a part of the one of the speeches. Customer, even individual customer, they need attention. They need individual. You have to contact them individually. And even when I will get an email, hi, this is company XYZ or something, just I see that it's automated email. I will not even read it further. You need to do the research do the effort to get to know the company or the customer.
Yeah, I agree with you. From our perspective, if we do need direct contact or reasonably direct contact with our distribution partners, but from our, maybe it's a bit brutal. I don't know. As long as there are financial incentives all the way down the chain, meaning from like we make money, our distributor makes money, the integrator makes money, and our client makes money because our solution is actually useful, and it helps them. Then the sales process is relatively easy. We have to be trustworthy in that we do what we say we're going to do, and so does everybody down the line. And as long as we're careful with picking the people down the line, things seem to move relatively easily. I guess as it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, maybe it'll be more difficult to monitor and control. But at this point, it's really more about that than cold emails, which are not our thing.
From my perspective, those are just tools, and tools can be operated in different ways. Those are controversial. Cold mailings are controversial. From our perspective, we tested those tools. I think they work in some way. Much more effective for us is building inbound marketing channels, delivering trust, delivering value to our potential partners in terms of efficiency. But I know companies that they use such tools very efficiently in a clever manner, and they get results. So it's really up to you if you want to use them.
I think that people like us got used to like receiving this kind of emails, and this is the problem of this kind of solutions. That when I got some time ago, first like 1, 2, 3, 4 emails from one guy, I was like, he really wants to do business with me. So I answered the 4th email. But right now I easily recognize the first email and the second email that this is like automatic process. And like you said, I just ignore it. Once I even asked one guy to just stop it. Like it was like 7th email, like, hey, remember about me? We spoke about it. It's like, and I told him, hey, bro, just stop it. Like, and he said, sorry. And then 1 week later, he sent me it again. I don't know. He forgot maybe to like exclude me from his list. So it's like extremely annoying. And I even have the impression that with this company, I will not want to work, even if I will need their service. I might be, I'm somehow annoyed because he was the CEO of the company, which is quite a big company right now. And so probably it's working for them, but I'm annoyed. But right now, his sales manager also started sending me all of this. I also received 7 emails from this guy. It's like
specific corporate
when
culture.
I see this company, the only thing I think about right now is that just this spam on my email. So I'm trying to mark it as spam, and hopefully I will not receive it anymore. So we are not using it, but they grew fast. This company grew fast, so maybe it works for them. I don't know.
Yes. So
I would like to add that if you want to be reliable and trustworthy company, you have to do the homework.
Yeah, so we have a question probably connected very much with this topic and also with the topic you said at the very beginning. So, okay, we have a great product, yeah, and we have innovative product. We solve the problem. How do you get the first 100,000 or 10,000 users?
Who first?
I can tell you about how we started. It was thanks to Kickstarter. It's not a secret. And so we started a campaign, and then we got the funds, and we got the people who trusted in us. And I think almost all of them are together with us today. And they became the users of Zortrax, the fans of Zortrax, and even in some cases our friends. And they gave us perfect feedback. So that was for Zortrax.
And it's funny because it seems like B2B and B2C are not that dissimilar after all.
Yes.
Because for us it was very similar. Get fans, don't get customers. Obviously the first 10 were friends and family, and then it was the guy who was selling me a sandwich and a cab driver, and so I could follow up on that story, but similarly to your story, then those people became our ambassadors. We used their stories. Some of them still have my personal phone number and call me and say, hey, Marta, sort of, how's it going? But I'd be more interested in the 100, 1,000, if not 10,000. Two things that were important for us. The first thing was we invested heavily in SEO up front. You don't have all the money to spend with Michał and his crew. So SEO was really important.
Trying to help to earn money also.
Yes. But the other thing that we did is, well, obviously I had a relatively good understanding of the Polish market. I found a traditional player that had a website and wasn't doing any PPC against their keyword. And we started our first campaign advertising against their keyword. And nobody was bidding against this keyword, so it was very cheap. And we got the first 10,000 customers through that one campaign. So look at who your customer is, who are they currently using. If you're building something that is already more or less in the market, then try and find that key thing, that little hack. And actually, when you look at the stories of the real big successful companies, everybody had their hack. PayPal had the referral hack, really good way of getting first customers. Airbnb had their Craigslist hack. So find your little hack.
For us, it was word of mouth, basically, for the first, I would say, founding clients. And then I would say clear effort on sales and marketing. This is something that is, I would say, often tech startups are not very fond of it because they really believe that product should defend itself. But we put really effort on those things, and it really paid off. We take care of our brand. We take care of our marketing strategies. We hire good people in business development. It really pays off right now. So this is my advice.
Yeah, go back to the same theme over and over again, is that for us, we started as a software development house for mobile applications, and we had clients coming in to solve the same problems all the time. So we created a product that solved those problems, and it's called Salesbook now. And so we already had a client base in certain verticals that we're working with, and we started working closer and closer with companies like Microsoft and Apple, etc., to help us distribute or get in contact with new B2B clients. And we grew kind of that way. So it was really direct and indirect sales that repeated the same, let's say, solving of the big problem for enterprises over and over again. It took us a while to dial in the solution. Was it really a universal problem? And once we dialed it in, it just started to go. And it's a different approach than focusing on SEO and things like that. We don't deal with that much at all. We deal more with, we're very product oriented, even though it's a piece of software. Yeah.
So I think I have our story is like a bit different because you have guys like hundreds or thousands of clients, right? We always needed like millions because like our revenue per user is much lower than you. So I need millions of users, and we wanted to validate very fast if it's going to work. So like around 4 years ago at 4 a.m. At night or morning, when we launched with my colleague Damian the website, we just bought some Google Ads campaigns, maybe Facebook ads, and we just tested if what we spend on marketing is like similar, at least similar or lower than what we earn on this platform. Because from the very beginning, our like platform was designed to make money from day one. So it was very easy to validate it. Of course, then we had these hacks with forums, huge SEO, all of these things that I could discuss. But like when we wanted to fast check it, like without waiting for customers, of course, then like natural traffic, we're creating like videos on YouTube about us and so on. But we didn't want to wait. So we just bought some ads and we checked if it's working. So when we realized that we'd spend, let's say, 100 zloty, because we are not talking about big budgets. Like everyone who is launching startups, you have 100, 1,000, 10,000 zlotys. So you can, if you are building a product for big audience, for like big group of people, you can like try to spend this 10,000 zloty on marketing and check how much returns to you. If like from 1,000 you get, from 10,000 you get what 1,000, maybe there's like still something bad. But if out of like 10,000 spent on marketing, 8,000 is coming back to your 10,000 or perfectly 20,000, you are probably in the right position to scale it. So this was our approach. So like a bit different. We just launched the ads and we just went to our investors saying, hey guys, it's working. We just need more money on marketing. So
proof of concept was there.
Yeah. It's like after a few hours, there was like proof of concept.
Awesome.
Okay, so we have questions from the audience, but I wanted also to spend some time on the HR topic. So basically hiring and composing the teams. Yeah, we spoke about things in terms of going to other markets, about having the local representatives or not, about traveling. How do you compose your teams? Like in terms of thinking about the global business, what are the biggest important things in terms of composition of your teams? Anybody wants to start?
So we put a lot of effort in it. Process is complicated, quite long. I think only 3% of candidates make it to the end. We focus on people who are great, who have great communication skills, and people with, I would say, entrepreneurial vibe. I want to believe that those people who are working with us are capable of founding their own company in the future. This is what we're looking for. It's really important to not to be shy on investing in it. Bad hires cost a lot. I read some research that the main thing that keeps people off the company and makes them leave your company is that they believe that they are not working with top talent. Mm-hmm. So you need to keep it up with your expectations if you want to have top people.
Great. I'm happy to add. So obviously we were always designed to be global. It only made sense if it was global. But there were two things that we're taking into account. One was that we're a fintech business, although fintech was not a word when we started in 2012. And I think that a lot of the financial brands have the issue of just sitting together with finance people and trying to create a product for people who are not finance people. And frankly, they don't give a damn about finance. So for us, it was very much about bringing in very varied talent from their respective industries and their respective areas of business. So for instance, if we're talking HR people, HR is allegedly done really well at Google. So how about, we look at somebody who's done HR at Google. We know that payments guys, really good payments guys often are in gambling websites, because this is the type of thing that they need to really hack. So okay, let's look for them there. We know that CRM, online dating, they have really good CRM. So we started looking for people who do CRM from online dating. So it wasn't just looking at our competition offline or online, but it was looking at the best companies that do this particular thing that we needed to hire for and trying to find people who came from those backgrounds. And this is very much in the vein of just always hiring people who are better than us. Every single person that works at Azimo is better than me, at least in some respect, if not in many. And a question that I found helpful when asking myself when meeting a person, and I've been hiring essentially almost everybody up until I think the 65th hire personally, and then sort of I still get involved more or less, is would I want to work with this person? Is this person good enough, or is this person talented enough, or does this person have the potential to be so good that I one day wouldn't mind working for them? And that's been super helpful for me. The last thing I'd add is we're a very mission-driven business. There are 250 million migrants around the world. 1 billion people send and receive remittances. It's a massive problem. There is a reason why the UN call it the hidden economy, and remittances account for 3 times more than total charitable aid internationally. It's just this incredible, very important industry, and I am on a mission to bring this cost lower, to give people the better way, to change people's lives through these products. And if somebody comes in and tells me, oh, I want to work here because fintech is sexy and I think it's going to be good for my career, then to be honest, they're out the door. I'm not interested in that.
No hire.
It's very much important. Are you in line with what we believe in, and do you think that this is a place that's going to help you not only learn, not only do great work, but also do something that is in line with your values? Any hires where we weren't making this, because a couple of times we were like, okay, you're a really great specialist in your area, you kind of don't care about this, but maybe we can work this out. It wouldn't work out as well as I would have hoped for it to.
I give the voice to Andrew because he was trying to start his speech twice.
No, I think I was still battling with this chair. I can't really figure it out. For us, with people, we did 2 sides. I think there's the programming side of the business and the sales side of the business. For programming, I mean, we have a preference for young Polish programmers from Rzeszów, where all of ours are, and we have a big team of people there, and we're very happy. So we that environment or that ecospace for programmers for our business, is completely okay, and we're very happy with it. On the sales side, our focus. Thank you very much. You're keeping me under control here. On the sales end, for us, we found that our best salespeople are people who used to be in sales at our end clients' organizations. If we're selling to insurance companies or banks or TMT or somebody else, somebody who really understands that business and understands the problem we're solving is the best person.
Insider knowledge, yep.
Yeah, insider knowledge and a real understanding. When he's speaking to the chief sales officer, which is really our person that we speak to, he says, hey, when I was doing it, for company X, Y, and Z, I really needed this problem. This solves it. Let's go forward. And that works the best for us. When we have to invest in people, it's a little gray hair is not bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it comes the same with what you were saying in terms of CRM from dating. Yeah. Again, the insider note a bit different, but in general. Okay, we have the last 2 minutes and we have a couple of questions. But I think, how do you know if your idea is actually worth expanding global? Marta, I think you can skip the question because your product was created for global. But the rest of the guys, it's not that I'm taking your voice away, but
terrible.
How do you know it's a reliable product that should go global? Yes.
How do you know it's actually worth expanding global?
Can I actually say something?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Whilst you're thinking about this, I would be of the opinion that the real great, successful, interesting companies, the real great, successful, interesting products are those that have the opportunity to go globally. And to be honest, when we're sort of here, Polish Tech Day, and we're talking about our ambitions and how to start great businesses, I'm not saying that local businesses are not worth starting. But what I want to say is, I too often meet incredible Polish entrepreneurs who say, oh, I'm going to build the best platform to do X in Poland. Why? Why in Poland? Why don't you aspire, just at least think, I want to build the best product in the category globally?
Yeah, precisely. It makes no sense. I mean, how do you know it's not worth expanding? I mean, the test of tries going global is really low. You just need to speak some English and buy some AdWords or Facebook ads, and that's it. It's not that expensive. So yeah, you should go global.
I agree. And as going back over and over and over again, if you're solving a real problem, there's no reason it's not going to work everywhere. And if you really aren't sure you can go global with it, it's either you have a problem because you have some complex about leaving Poland, or you're not solving a real problem. And you have to change
or you don't have the market, yes?
Yeah,
one of the reasons that startups
there's
fail.
something more fundamentally wrong with what you're doing. If you're really solving a problem, it should just go. I mean, you can screw it up a thousand ways along the way, but if it's a real problem you're solving, then, and you have your act together, to put it nicely, you should be able to pull it off in some way.
We have this phrase in our company that we're a global company that happens to have an office in Poland, and it could happen in anywhere. It doesn't make any difference. So probably it's the more true for most of those products that we are talking today.
And if you don't believe in your product, who will?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay, our time has finished.
Here.
Yeah.
Luckily,
Amen.
we're the last. Luckily, we're the last panel. So I'm just gonna ask you one more question. Tell me, at the end, what was the biggest challenge you had? What was the biggest surprise you had when you were growing your business? In 2 sentences each, please.
I would say raising funds for expanding the company globally.
Okay.
Trying to think about something.
I would say inertia. In financial services, it's incredible. If I asked you guys who likes their financial provider, probably 90% would say that they don't. And even though we had a product that was better and cheaper and easier to use and faster, it was actually a piece of work to do to explain to people that they might want to switch, that they deserve something better, that actually it makes sense to switch. That's something that took me by surprise. I think through building trust and awareness, we managed to overcome this. And also as years passed, I think there's a little bit more understanding and a little bit more where the world is more and more consumer driven and consumer focused, and consumers know their rights. But up front, I was very surprised. It's much better, but I kind of got used to what I was using.
So I just thought of one thing. It's what was really a surprise. It's how easy you can reach each potential person, company in the world, and how hard it is to convince them to use your services or product. So being global, it's super easy to target you, but to convince you, it's a super difficult task, and it requires a lot of effort, well thought out things.
Sitting across from him every day, only 1 yard from me. No, generally speaking, yeah, I agree with all of that stuff. The hardest challenge, I think it's very difficult in an earlier stage to intelligently raise money is a hard thing. People say all money is green, but that's not really true. It takes a long time to make sure that your venture capital partners, especially at an earlier stage, if you choose not to go the friends and fools route, which is really a bit of a hassle, if you can avoid it, dealing with professional investors at an early stage, the right ones can do an enormous amount for growing your business, and it's very, very difficult to pull off. And we were lucky to pull it off, but it took us a while to get it right. And then we could focus on dialing in the rest of our business. But I'd say that's really was the biggest challenge in your first 18 months of doing your business.
Yeah, so when you ask for the most surprising thing for us was like it's right now like everyone knows it, but like to make the product as simple as possible. Like when we launched our Polish version of GameKit.pl in Poland and GameKit, we were like community for gamers, like forum, like watch videos. We were streaming Twitch on our site. I don't know why right now, but like we wanted to like everything for gamers. Like we were calling ourselves community for gamers, and when we like 1.5 years ago changed it into collect points and exchange for points for rewards, like we started growing much faster. So when you're pitching to investors, like talking to anyone about your product, think about the one thing that your product really does. And if you have like 10 different features, probably something is wrong. So we had this problem. We had problems to explain what we are doing because it was like everything. So it was very surprising the effects of changing the website, the design, like into one simple thing. Do this and get that.
So can we summarize the panel saying find your hack, yeah, in everything you do, both in scaling the business, both in talking to the investors. Okay, thank you very much for the panel. Hopefully it was very interesting.